Hello, and it's the weekend. Now, I guess it's time for another weekend twofer. Now, last weekend's group that I was talking about was one of the emerging P-pop princesses, or maybe queen, but I guess I would still say they're princesses because they're still so young, which is Beanie. But since we're into P-pop, since we ended with P-pop, why not talk about the group that actually kickstarted the P-pop craze, which is SB19. And SB19 has already an extensive musical resume, but I would just like to really talk about their current release, which is Moonlight, and how awesome it is. Now, for people who are not aware or who are not that familiar with SB19, I'm sure you might have heard them before, even for people around the world. I might have heard them before, especially for the past 2 years. SB19 is a five-member Filipino P-pop group. Actually, I might say that they actually started the P-pop craze. They're now the name SB19 is actually pretty weird since it involves a computation with area codes for the 19, while SB talked about their previous company. Now, SB19 was formed last 2018, so they've been in the industry for quite some time now, and they're a five-member group. Specifically, Pablo, Stel, Philip, and Justin. See, I can remember if it's up to five, and they're all Filipino. They're all Filipino. Now, actually, Philip goes by the name Ken. I'm not sure why, but I know he's Philip. So now SB19 has actually been pretty popular already, and they actually have a number of sponsorships within the Philippines and abroad. But one of the sponsorships that I'm very very familiar with is their partnership with Dunkin', or here in the Philippines, Dunkin' Donuts. That's because uh, my favorite Dunkin' combo has always been Pablos Combo. Now, it's funny because Dunkin' Donuts, or Dunkin', is my favorite donut franchise, and it's gone to a point that I always call that combo as Pablo's pick. So even if I go to like other places like Krispy Kreme, I would mistakenly order one Pablo's pick, please. And what's that? It's just actually a large coffee and a donut. It's a regular donut. It's not the cake donut. So my go-to donut order is always Boston cream, and that's my favorite Dunkin' donut, and a large coffee and a big coffee, because their coffee is really good. And it's funny because it's Pablo's the SB19 member that I always remember because of the donut. Now, back to Moonlight. But you know what? I guess for most people, SB19 really hit the charts, or really got noticed globally because of their song Gento, which is around maybe a year and a half ago. And so everybody was doing the Gento dance with emotion and moving their hips. Now, it has gone pretty viral that groups from around the world, even Koreans, are doing the Gento dance. Now, I would say that their current release, Moonlight, is more than a worthy follow up. it's a perfect follow-up for them because Gento was sung in Filipino, and now coming with Moonlight, it's a great jumping point now that they got some critical mass with Gento, with people trying to now that they got noticed now doing their dance. Now with Moonlight, I hope that it opens up a lot more avenues for them, especially since the song is purely in English. The song is in English, and it's a really catchy song. It's an EDM type song, electronic dance music song, and it's very catchy. And it's the type of song that doesn't really that doesn't really impact you as strongly as Gento because of the bombastic sounds in the music, but it's the type of song that creeps on you, right? It slowly gets you until before you know it, you're gonna start mouthing off the song like, I like what we do in the Moonlight, and then you just start bopping your head to the rhythm, and that's what Moonlight's gonna give you. Now, another thing that I'd like to talk about is the video. For the first time, I finally seen SB19 the way they look normally. I mean, the way a normal person would look, because I always remember them with all the colors in their hair, with the different hairstyles. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Pablo used to have a mullet. Philip had his hair all white, But this time, they're all in black hair. And they're all clean cut, which they looked a lot cooler. For me, they're a lot cooler because they not just had only their black hair and clean cut. All they're left with are the lines in their eyebrows, and for Stellar, those piercings. That made them a lot cooler. And I'm just pretty excited about this because I love the video. It's so cool. And then they're all wearing the same clothes, very minimalist, shirt, tie, pants, and I think it's leather shoes, I guess. Yeah, and shoes. And they're not singing. They're not projecting. They're stoic. It's like it's basically like robots, and seeing that they don't have any reaction. It's just plain movements. And with that EDM song coming in, it hits you like it puts you in a trance. It puts you in a trance. And then it started out that they're just the five of them doing a dance, and then they go together in a line, and then when they separate, it's a lot more dancers. It's just so cool. And all of them are dressed the same, and all of them all dance without emotion. And then you would see that, and then there would just be snippets of the people that they collabed with. By the way, the Moonlight was actually, now I have to write it down, because now they had two collaborators for this, specifically Ian Asher and Terry Zong. Ian Asher is a producer, and Terry Zong's a DJ. Now, another one is also that they've also had a mixer. I think it's a Grammy-nominated, Grammy-awarded mixer who did the song also. Now, by the way, SB19, if you're not familiar with, has recently started self-managing themselves. Yeah, they used to be under Show BT, which is maybe, I guess, SB. It's a Korean company. It's a Korean company, but the company that got them is the Philippine branch of that Korean company. But they've recently started managing themselves. So this is a great business move for them. At least they have more control over their career. And I guess this Moonlight is a great start for that, since it's a different concept. It's a lot different from what they're used to doing. Since SB19 would usually be they look like Koreans, with the costumes and everything. But this is a great start. So again, back to the video. The video is giving me. It's like a combination of three vibes, three influences. Number one, with the set, with the set and the way that the set was made, and with the way their movements are pretty working like clockwork, it reminds me of Daft Punk's Around the World. If you're familiar with it, if you're familiar with Daft Punk, they've disbanded already, but they're one of the best electronic or EDM groups ever. It's one of my favorite groups also. When they were active, actually, fun fact, they have action figures, and I have their action figures. I have their action figures because their persona is that you don't see their real faces. They have helmets and they have gloves on, and those gloves are like they're similar to like Battlestar Galactica type silver and gold helmets. So the Moonlight reminds me partly of Daft Punk's Around the World. Second, with their movements are like robotic and also moving the shoulders and stuff with their body. It reminds me of Genki Sudo's World Order. Now, most of you might not be familiar with what World Order is. It's actually a group made by MMA fighter and now member of parliament Genki Sudo. He used to be an MMA fighter who retired and then went into entertainment for a bit. He became an actor and formed this group called World Order. Now, their style is that they do dance. He does electronica and he sings. He also sings in the group. Actually, it's just by himself when he does the music. But his group in itself is a dance group. And what they do is they're in business attire, they're in Japanese salaryman attire, and they perform their dance without emotion. My favorite World Order song is Mindshift. And by the way, I'll be posting those videos as references also in the comments once I have them uploaded. But their movements is awesome. They usually do popping and robotic movements, which I also see a little bit here in Moonlight, and the fact that they're wearing business attire and also with their stoic faces because they don't show emotion. And lastly, what I would say that ties them all three together, those three vibes together to build Moonlight, is Jamiroquai. You know, the electronica part and also the speed and also the tone also reminds me so much of Jamiroquai. Not Virtual Insanity, but there are other songs like there's I'm not sure if it's called Rocket Girl or something, but it's a music video where they're in exotic cars. You know, it reminds me of those three. When I watch it, I get reminded by those three elements. Daft Punk's Around the World, World Order, and Jamiroquai. Now, aside from that, the dance moves were on point. I would say that it might be a little hard to go viral because the dances are a bit. I'm not a dancer though, but it doesn't look a bit more complicated than normal. But I have seen people doing the Moonlight dance challenges already, and they've been killing it. And but the song in itself is really great, and the song itself is really catchy. And this is part of their single. Actually, for SB19, for a group that's been since 2018, they've got one studio album, they've got 2 EPs, and a lot of singles. So Moonlight's coming in as a single. So basically, it's me just appreciating how cool Moonlight is. For the rest of the week, I've been bobbing my head. You know, I haven't been doing the happy movement since after watching a lot of K-pop and P-pop, but I've been bobbing my head a lot to SB19's Moonlight, and I hope that you can check it out. Check them out on Spotify. They're in Spotify, but I'll be posting the music video here. I'll also just for additional reference, I'll also be posting a video of Daft Punk's Around the World. Maybe a video or two of World Order, and I'll have to find a Jamiroquai video that suits this. But if not, I'll just leave it with World Order and Daft Punk's Around the World. So again, just here, just me appreciating how cool SB19's Moonlight is. It's a great comeback for SB19, and I hope that they could bring out a lot more music. I wish them the best. I wish Moonlight gets as viral or even bigger than Gento. And for everybody, I hope that you can enjoy this with me. And for people who have been watching me, I guess I'm back to my usual content from my previous video. And for everybody, have a great weekend, and I hope that you can enjoy everything that you can do in the Moonlight.